What's up guys, welcome back for another YgoPro duel video. New Metaphys support. The new Metaphys monster was released a couple of days ago. Metaphys Executor. It's a level 10 if I'm not mistaken, and its summoning condition is kinda hard, but I know where they are going to with this new Executor card is that when this card is in your hand, you can banish 5 different Metaphys cards from either from your side of the field or from your graveyard. So that's important. Banish them, and then you can special summon your Executor. Your Executor on the field cannot be banished and it cannot be destroyed by card effects, but well, yeah, it can still be kaiju'd, right, and it can still be sent back with something like Castell. But anyway, its effect states that when your opponent controls more cards than you can special summon a banished Metaphys monster on your, that's banished, and then special summon it to your side of the field. But yeah, you know it's banished during the end phase of the next turn. But it will trigger, for example, something like your Metaphys to banish all face down spells and traps. Executor is a decent card, but again, its banishing cost is hard. It's very hard. But I know where they are going to, since you know you send all of your Metaphys, at least all your Metaphys cards to the grave, or let's say when they end up in the grave, they're somewhat useless there. You want to banish them, and that's where your Executor, or yeah, your Executor, your Executor comes into play by banishing them from your grave, and at the same time get their effects off. I'm using 2 different builds. I prefer the second build, but I'll be honest with my second build, which again I prefer. I've never summoned Executor, so I believe it's just fine as a one-off here in the deck, just in case, like a nice stop deck or something. You can search off of your waterfall, for example, to, you know, get yourself back in the duel, banish those Metaphys monsters from your grave. But outside of that, I don't think you need to run more than one. So let's take a quick look at a few example duels. First example here is with something turbo-ish, yeah, pretty much with Lightsworns. But again, okay, if you play Lightsworns, you're setting up your grave for a possible Executor play, but still, that's not something you want to do with your Metaphys monsters. As said before, in the grave they're kinda useless. You want to banish them, right? But then again, okay, you're setting up for Executor, but still, is this worth it? Probably not. But again, it's just to showcase this new Executor. Yeah, my apologies. Executor is just much more easy to pronounce. Whatever. Okay, the opponent has 4 sets, so that's nice. Get Executor on board, use its effect. Still, the opponent can use Solemn Strike or Solemn Warning on the summon of Executor, but still, the field spell comes into play, and you know when the field spell, your Metaphys field spell is face up on the field, your opponent cannot negate the Metaphys cards. But still, the summon can be negated, so is it worth it? Playing like multiple Executors and your whole engine with something like Lightsworns, for example? Probably not, definitely not. Here a couple of duels with the second build, so the build I prefer more with Card of Demise, for example. Still playing Card of Demise, it adds speed to the deck, and Metaphys is a deck that can play during your opponent's turn. I've heavily changed my build compared to the last video a couple of weeks ago, adding in the field spell. Yes, definitely you need to run the field spell, and the Metaphys trap, definitely also a main deck card, so I was wrong in my previous video. Okay, playing against Windwitch Tricksters, I believe. Yeah, it should be. He goes for Crystal Wing, the invincible Crystal Wing, which I can kinda easily out with my Metaphys Continuous Trap, since that card banishes his, or at least it's going to banish his Crystal Wing. It probably should have just used this reincarnation as soon as he saw that I added my SM Metaphys card. You know, the continuous draw card for Metaphys. That's definitely good. Metaphys is from what we could have seen, or what we are seeing now from the OCG. A lot of deck lists are already popping up from past weekend, when at least, yeah, you know, Circuit Break has been released, and last weekend was the first weekend where, yeah, with the new cards legal for play, and we could have seen, or at least about a few Metaphys deck lists have been popping up, playing like Shining Angel, for example, or Eclipse Wyvern, but yeah, still SC Metaphys, or at least Metaphys in general, is definitely a deck that has a chance to become a solid tier 1 deck with some extra card releases, maybe. So another duel against ABCs. The opponent's playing like ABC with, what is it called? I forgot the name. Yeah, you know, like the field spell, discard the cards. My apologies. Anyway, normal summon Silver Gadget. He goes with Dire Wolf to pretty much clear my back row, right, so he can safely go for ABC Dragon Buster. But yeah, okay, Dragon Buster on the field. Yeah, you see here that this build, this version still had Necrophase in the main deck. I was like, okay, let's main deck Necrophase again, just in case to try it out with Pot of Desires as well. You know, Desires banishing 10 cards is kinda a lot, and this deck heavily relies on combos and you know, the whole engine. And that's why I made that Necrophase again upon normal summon. Just refuel your banished pile and send it back to the deck. But eventually I dropped the Necrophase again from the main deck. Not really too great, also not really too good with Card of the Mice. Again, main decking more monsters. Honest is also not in the main deck, also because of Card of the Mice. It's yeah, a bit iffy, but again, I think I prefer Card of the Mice a bit more. Gives me more draws, more spells, more traps, and of course, yeah, increases the chances of drawing into SC Metaphys, the continuous spell card. Well, yeah, Necrophase in this case was kinda good, right? Normal summon it and then, yeah, send all of his banished ABC monsters back to the deck. But I think I should have this game in the bag. Again, yeah, Ragnarok is special summoned, so banish all special summoned monsters, I believe indeed. So no Dragon Buster. Again, and no, I'm in full control of the duel, yeah. Angel of Sarah, again, a very nice stack here in this deck. His C is not going to save him, and he's going to enter up in the scoop phase. Another example against Cyber Darks, you know, switching it up a little bit, play testing against other decks, other than Zodiacs, True Dracos, right? The opponent gets to start, it's a decent start, field spell, he draws Sephiroth, not really too great, you'd rather want to send Sephiroth from your deck to the grave with those level 3 Cyber Darks, right? He does Cyclone, hitting the Solemn Warning, which is kinda unfortunate. Again, another Cyclone. That's a bummer, since I think you should know that I'm playing like 2 or 3, I believe 2 Waterfalls. Great cards. You should main deck it chainable against your opponent's Cyclones and Twin Twisters, and it searches any worm type monster from your deck, right? Or yeah, in very specific scenarios you can draw cards, right? But still, no back row and double SC Metaphys on the field. That's great to get your engine going, get my Ragnarok on board. Hopefully get lucky, but I don't, and he's still able to get some nice shenanigans going with his field spell again. Here he still can send Antis indeed with one of his Cyber Darks to the grave to pop on SC Metaphys, but Drowning Mirror Force sent everything back to the deck. I still like Drowning Mirror Force, especially here in the deck. It's very slow, very anti-meta-ish, so playing the Mirror Forces and mainly Drowning Mirror Force indeed, because of the Link monsters. You know, they can't switch to defense, so Drowning is preferred over the Sandstorm Mirror Force. Metaphys Dimension, the continuous trap, is also something that I again recently added. Definitely main deck target, you should main deck this, so I was wrong again in my previous video. But it's just an extra target you can search off your Neptis, for example. It might trigger when you banish a Metaphys card, which is somewhat slow here with the deck, so you need to have it phase up already. But still, it's a great card you want to have in your main deck. And yeah, of course, it's also an extra Metaphys card to possibly banish from your grave or on the field for your Exeggutor. Okay, the opponent now, and I believe, yeah, Neptis triggered immediately searching out Ragnarok. It's either searching out Ragnarok or SC Metaphys, since yeah, indeed, I have Waterfall set, so Waterfall could potentially search my Daedalus to, you know, banish it with SC Metaphys during my own turn. So normal summon Ragnarok, run into Warning, bummer, so I don't have any play ready. Okay, the field spell in this case, It's good, but you know, it's warning, right? You can't stop warning with that. Drowning Mirror Force again, very, very good. Another Ragnarok, great. Normal summon it, test my luck, and I believe banish the Daedalus indeed, and use Waterfall to, I believe, draw 2 cards in the end. Very, very nice. Use Desires, and you already see it here. Double SC Metaphys. That's, I think, the first card you want to have as fast as possible, since that card, your SC Metaphys, gets your engine going. Like, yeah, banishing Nephthys, banishing your Daedalus, like small loop between both of them. And you know, SC Metaphys getting those extra draws during your own turn as well. Okay, yeah, it's not going to matter here. Antis popping one of my monsters. Nephthys banishes itself, so 3 Nephthys are banished, so that's 3 searches here during my own turn. And this should be pretty much game, right? I think so. Not in this turn, but yeah, a lot of card advantage. Draw another Desires, not really too optimal. But yeah, for some reason I normal summon Tyrant Dragon and attack into his monster. You know, the equipped Cyber Darks do trigger when they attack or when the opponent attacks. Not really sure what my thought process was here. Okay, I have Drowning Mirror Force, maybe because of that, but still, strange play on my part. But it's not going to matter. Drowning Mirror Forces monsters away, so I believe he's indeed going to normal summon Zephyros, but eventually I should be able to attack for game here with one of my monsters. Yeah, indeed, popping the Zephyros with the trap card and then free to attack to deal some nice damage. So again, 2 different builds. One build bit focused on something turbo-ish with the Light Sworns, but that's not really too optimal. You don't want to mill your Metaphys monsters. Okay, you can set up your Executor, but still, that's definitely not worth it. I definitely recommend playing somewhat of the second build here without or with Card of the Mice, but yeah, Waterfall definitely a main deck staple. The Field Spell, the Metaphys Trap card also, so. But again, feel free to leave suggestions down below. Thanks for watching and feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.